Yo, what's happening? What's going on? What it is, what it ain't, what it do. It's your boy David Ross in the building, man. Back with another banger. Got a few guys gonna roll through per usual. They'll be on any minute now. The first guest should be hopping on. 5-0. I don't even know if you would call it a scare, whatever you want to call it, bullshit. We beat Virginia Tech. Move on to Cal. How you feeling? Obviously, still undefeated. Dropping the post a little bit, but it is what it is. How you feeling going into this week against Cal, bro?
What it is, what it ain't, what it do. That's a whole lot to put on me right out the bat. I can't answer all that at the same time. All I do know is a win is a win, and I'm taking it. Right? I would rather take a tough win over a tough loss any day. It's nice to be on the other side of that. I hear a lot of folks saying, there's a lot of Miami teams that wouldn't have won that game. Wouldn't have hung in there, and we did win. I think now the next goal is to get to where you're not in situations like that. But then if you watched any other college football on Saturday, that's happening more and more every week, right? Where you got to play the entire game, man. And shout out to those guys, man. Seen Riley running that dude down after the interception and just never gave up on that play and helped us out there. So just a lot of positivity out of that game, I thought. Like I said, they fought tooth and nail. It was an ACC game, somewhat of a rivalry game, you know what I mean? And definitely our toughest test of the year. And definitely came away with some things to work on. But like I said, bro, we won the game. So I'm taking it. I'm going home. And FYI, that was not a catch, so shut up.
Hey, I got our guest on. He's backstage real quick, so we'll go ahead and get him on, get him up out of here for the night. These guys are in mid-season, so we'll get him on here, let him introduce himself, and then we're gonna chop it up.
Go
What's
ahead.
good, my bro? You can hear me?
Yes, sir. How we doing?
Oh man, I'm blessed, bro. I appreciate your time, man. I appreciate you coming on tonight. Real quick for everybody that's watching live, let them know who you are, where you're from, what position you play, and what class you're in.
This is Chance Barclay out of Orlando, Florida, out of Mineola, Florida. Hey, the best football state in the nation. Come on now, let's talk about it. Class of 2026, O-line, 4-star, and here with the boys talking about the Canes.
Yeah, baby.
Nah, facts, man. So obviously Miami's off to a quick start, man. 5-0. What's your take on that? How are you feeling? What's your perspective right now on Miami?
Right now, how I'm feeling about Miami, they're starting off hot, and the reason why I like it so much is that it's bringing a different culture. Like specifically when it comes to the O line. Right now, the O line is looking dominant. Every phase of the O line is looking dominant. They're giving Cam Ward really good time, and what I love about it is that they're all bonding. They're all doing the same thing. They're all like, even when they were even like falling short at Virginia Tech or USF, they're all bonding. They're all finding ways to be dominant, not just in the run game, but especially in the pass game to give Cam Ward time to be able to pass the ball and do his thing.
I definitely I agree, man. So obviously, Coach Cristobal, Coach Mirabal, two big old line guys. What is your take on that, man? When you see, man, my head coach could possibly be, an O line guy, and Coach Mirabal is one of the best offensive line coaches in the country. What does that mean to you being recruited by those two guys?
It means a lot, especially the way how Coach Mirabal coaches, because one thing that I like, and especially my mom, because my mom's a teacher, Coach Mirabal teaches like a teacher. And he's like, it's when it comes to specifics or examples, he teaches like he's their actual classmates. And he was a teacher at one point. And having Cristobal as an O-line guy, it helps even more. It makes the O-line dominant, makes the recruitment for O-line so much better. And that's why the Canes are dominating the way they are.
Yeah. So obviously, Miami started off with Florida up in Gainesville and put complete belt to ass. When you watched that game, were you expecting that, or was that kind of something that just, man, it blew your mind?
Well, I expected like a really good game. I mean, there's just two teams in Florida. I expected, just like a really big rivalry. And at first, in the first half, it was 14-10. It was not too bad. Florida was fighting. They started off pretty well. Their defense didn't look too bad. And then Cam Ward on the O line and also the defense were really showing who they were. And then that's why they came over to, you've probably seen the videos. They came over to the sideline. They preach who they are. They preach who they are for sure. They preach what type of team they're going to bring to the season, and they're going to preach. And they tell all the recruits, "Hey, come to Miami if you want to be part of something special. You want to win a national championship."
Yeah, I mean, so have you been to a game yet this season, whether it's been away or home? Because I know Miami played at Tampa too.
Not yet. I am planning to come soon, and I think about 2 or 3 weeks. I know they play Florida State. I know they just got off of Virginia Tech. I know they got a couple of home games left, but I'm planning to come up there because I know my coach really wants me to go up to Miami, see how everything's done. And I know I really do want to too.
I got you, man. Currently, what's your height and weight? What's your measurables?
I'm 6'4" and around 290, 293.
I got you. So obviously, you play O line. Is there a position specifically you want to play more interior? Or you want to play on the outside?
I mean, wherever the coaches want me to be, I'm just blessed with this type of body to be able to, by God, just blessed by the God to be able to have the opportunities to play O line like this. But wherever the coach put me, I'll play. If I got to learn center, I played guard, tackle, but I haven't played center. But if I need to play center to help the team out, wherever I'm needed, really, just opportunity to be able to play.
I got you, man. We'll pass my co-host, man. Let's chop it up, then pass it back.
So to kind of touch on where you're going to play, and you said you've played several positions. I see you enlisted a lot as an interior offensive lineman, but I know you played some tackle last year. What are you playing mostly right now this year, and will you continue to play that same position you think going forward?
Right now for the first academy, my team, I'm playing right guard, and right now I think I'm doing pretty well. I think I'm starting to understand more of the position, and how physical and how actually pretty fast and twitchy you got to be because tackles are on an island pretty much the whole game, but guards you got to be able to deuce block up to the backer, you got to be able to pull, you got to be able to give space to give holes to the running backs because really it's the guard and centers that make those holes. So. That's right now where I primarily see my position going to go. But I'm just excited at what the holds have. If I got to play center when it comes into college, I'm be prepared for it, and I'm excited.
Got you. You're being recruited, hearing from a lot of programs. Do you hear more in your recruiting process on the interior, or is it kind of a mix? Some want you inside, some see you on the outside at tackle, or how's that kind of playing out?
It's mostly inside because a lot of the tackles, especially in the 2026 class, are 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", and stuff like that, which is fine with me because I believe when it comes to guard, I think it's one of the most important positions as you go in the interior because it's really those inside guys that make those tiny holes against those big dudes, and those big dudes and the D tackles, those no guard, they 350, so you're gonna have to move them nice. You're gonna have to. They're not easy to move, but that's what makes it so special is because they need those guys to move those big guys to make those holes. Because it's like those little bit of pushes, those little bit of like in that hat placement when it comes to O line that makes it really important to make those runs and even those passes.
Yeah, we
Hold
talk
up.
about it all the time. The dudes in the trenches are just getting so big, but staying athletic is what amazes me.
Mhm. Of
Dudes, 300 like yourself, 300 plus that can still move, and then
course.
you got those dudes on the other side, as well. So I think the trenches is just amazing how guys are keeping their athleticism as well. Uh,
Hmm.
so you're a busy dude, very busy guy. You had a busy summer camp schedule. I think you hit Clemson, Oklahoma, A&M, just two or three others with that. You got a long ways to go in your recruiting process. You're going to continue to get recruited, continue to hear from programs. It's going to be a long, drawn out process. Do you really enjoy the process? Is it something that kind of gets to you a little bit? Because everybody's different. Or is it something you kind of embrace and you just really enjoy the whole thing about it?
Oh, I enjoy the recruiting process now. I love it. I love it.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. I think when
Got a phone call.
Uh-oh.
I already know what that means.
oh, sorry. There we
There
go.
you go.
My
There he is.
phone. I think when it comes to the recruitment process, it's so enjoyable when you're able to see like, wow, I worked this hard. God's blessed me this hard that I'm able to do these type of things. Because if you really think about it, there's not a lot of opportunities you see or a lot of kids see like going out in these games or being able to be invited to practice or even just being able to visit these campuses. Not a lot of people do that, and that's what
Mhm.
makes the recruitment process so enjoyable because you get to see like the inside game and you might be playing for one of these teams, which is so cool. And I'm just, my mom loves it as well. She gets like so excited to come to any game. She was very, impressed with Miami as well. And it's just so great to be able to do things just like that. So, I'm just blessed by God and it's great.
Love it. It's probably one of the best answers we've heard because we say all the time, take every visit you can get. If you ever watch this show again, you'll hear us say that. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity, so continue to do that. I know you visited Miami in January, picked up an offer while you were there. I think you
Mhm.
came back a couple months later. Can you kind of describe those visits and the interaction with the coaching staff, with Coach Mirabal, Coach Cristobal, and the whole crew?
It was great. I haven't met Coach Cristobal yet. I've texted with him. He's a great guy. I know he's a very big old line guy. I could just tell by the way he texts. But
Okay.
while there, we had a 5v5 big thing event going, and it was with my team. I had my O line coach and D line coach. They were all there. We all went up to Miami because there's a team tournament in Miami. And the way that Coach Mirabal taught, it was like very interactive. And that's the first thing I thought of when going up there. And it was very interactive with the O line. He teaches very well. And when he gave me that offer, I was like, wow, this is like Miami. Like it's like like there's offers that you get there's Liberty and stuff like that. But when you think of Miami, it's like different when you think of in-state homes because like they see talent in you from in-state, and of course out of state is really good. But Miami, Miami's Miami. I'm just gonna put it out like that. So it's very, very cool. And I know Coach Potts, Coach Mirabal, Coach Cristobal, very good places. And I know people when it comes to coaching, not just the whole team, but when it comes to coaching just the old line, they've done so much. And I know that it's gonna take them a long way. And it's gonna be those little things that the old line and the trenches do that's gonna take them to the playoffs and take them hopefully to the national championship.
Fantastic. I just got two more for you, and I'm going to pass it back. As you continue to get recruited, you talked about how Coach Mirabal is a teacher and things like that, and you continue to work on your craft. Uh, we watch your film. We can see, definitely why you're being recruited so heavily. But maybe one or two things that you think to yourself that you want to improve on and need to get better at before you get to that next level.
Um, I would say when it comes to, I think I got to be able to gain some more weight and be able to, be a bigger person, because when it comes to being a guard, D tackles, like I said, 350. That's hard to move. That is not
Yeah.
easy to move. That is
Yeah.
not easy to move. And I would say that also one thing I got to get better of that I'm struggling with is being able to stay tight when it comes to blocks and getting off the blocks a little bit more, because when it comes to our offense, we go off the center, we get off the center's go. So if I have just that little bit more twitch, if I have a little bit better, bit better getting off the ball, and if I can just stay tighter so I can get a better kick out block, which I have progressively gotten better at those, I think it'll just make a difference. So I'll be getting better on those, but I think those have always room for improvement when it comes to pass. I can be able to lock on when it comes to pass pro. I can be able to lock on and stop the defender right there and then, which I have, but I can still do a little better and do it a little faster. There's just little tweaks that I can do, and as I get into the season a little more, I definitely can improve those, and especially when I go into spring and fall, and spring and summer.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Last thing for me, I always kind of like to ask about hobbies and other things you like to do. Yours is a little special because, uh, correct me if I'm wrong, your faith is extremely important to you.
Oh yeah, God
And
is good.
and and tell me if I'm wrong. Did you or did you not recently just preach your first sermon?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I preached my first sermon on
Your face is
Sunday.
lighting up, man. So I know this is meaning a lot to you. As soon as you start
Oh
talking, you
yeah,
can just
oh
see it,
yeah.
man. Talk to
Preached
us
my
about that. Tell us about that.
So every fifth Sunday, or try to do it a couple Sundays, probably like, going into the week, we try to do a youth service, and there's young adults and then there's youth, and our youth is called Root of Regime, and we do it at Vision Church, which is near Groveland, near South Lake, and they wanted me to preach. And one thing that we were preaching about was reality check, being able to have a reality check on what you're doing. Is it really faithful to God, and is it really doing what God asked you to do? Mine was on acknowledgement of the accountability around you. And one thing I preached about on that sermon is that having brothers, having family members that keep you accountable is so important, because how my mom used to say, tell me who your friends are and I tell you who you are. And
Mm.
if you're with people that are doing the wrong things, you're going to do exactly you're going to turn out exactly like them. But if you stay with the right people who have a plan, because we all have a plan, but we all have a one goal in mind, and that's to be able to have a relationship and be in heaven with our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and His Father. So I would say that, if we all have that one mindset and we use the talents that He gave us to praise His name, I think it's a main thing. So that's what I talked about a lot. And, it was all glory to God. I was great with the opportunity to do it. Just God is good all the time.
Fantastic. That's possibly the best answer we've ever had to any question on here, and I can tell it's real to you. Again, you can kind of see your whole face light up when you talk about it, man. Fantastic. That's fantastic. So, best of luck to you. We want to stay in touch. We'd love to get you back on down the road as your recruitment continues. And that's all I have for you now. I'm gonna pass it back, and Ross will sign off with you. Thank you.
Yeah, I just got a few more for you, man, and we'll get you out of here, like my guy said. So obviously, getting ready to go into your senior season coming ahead, right? You're getting out of your junior year. What are some things that you're looking forward to going into your recruitment now that you'll be the center face of recruitment, right? When your 26 class looks off, is there something that when you go on a visit, you're looking for specifically family atmosphere, championship background, culture fit? Like, what are some things that are going to catch your eye?
I would say there's like a couple things that me and my mother, because my mother's a big part of my recruitment, because she's really helped me. God's blessed me with a great mother to be able to help out and be able to do the things that I'm able to do to go out and play football. So I would say one thing definitely is chemistry throughout the team and throughout the coaches is very important, because if it's all discombobulated, it's not good. But I know teams like Miami have a really good culture. And just like, I know it's not a big thing, but things like going on official visits and all the coaches taking a picture together with the group, that says something. That says something. I know it's very small, but that says something about a culture that, like, everybody wants to be there for you. Everyone is there for you, and that's the culture trying to bring. And another one, of course, is culture, the culture of the place, the culture of the fans. Are they, even if we have bads, even if the goods, bads, whatever, are they still going to be able to cheer you on? Are we still going to be able to have that hype around when it comes to home games? And I say another one is definitely one-on-one coaching. One-on-one coaching by the head coach, the position coach, assistant coach. Are you able to teach them? Are you able to teach them? Are you able to coach them hard? But you're able to have that relationship with them, because I know my O-line coach has a relationship with our O-line, and that's what makes it special, because we have that chemistry throughout that O-line, and that's what makes us such a such a dominant and such a be able to block and make all these yards for the running backs and quarterbacks.
No, that's what's up, bro. So obviously, when it comes that time and you're going through your process and everything else, do you kind of want to narrow things down early on in your process? Maybe get over during the spring, summer, or are you looking to take it kind of the long, distance and go into signing day?
Um, I would say narrowing things down as I get into my what's it called? When I get into my game visits and when I get into my spring visits, I'll probably narrow it down to around 7 because that's the plan. I always wanted to get down at 7, and you know, I would say like God's gonna give me the right answer at the right times. He's been giving me answers. He's been giving me blessings, and I know that He's gonna choose the right path for me. And I know Miami. Hopefully, Miami is a part of that path. When it comes to that time, and I know that God's gonna put me in the right positions. And I think right now the main thing for me is being able to do what I got to do for my team so we can win a state championship. But as I get more into my recruitment, the time will come. It says in the Bible that when the time is right, the Lord will make it happen. So I know it will happen soon, and I know it will happen at the right time.
I got you. So that's that I want to talk about, man. We'll get you out of here for the rest of the night. So Miami is starting to finally dig their footprints into the Orlando area, right? I mean, there's a lot of recruiting up there. There's a lot of guys up there. Our quarterback that was committed in your class, is right there in Jones High School. Obviously, we went after Vernell Brown as hard as we could. Then you have Larry Miles, Miami's recruiting. But then also, there's 2 linemen that are committed, like currently in this 2025 class. So Miami's trying to get in there and kind of, get some footing in that area, in that region. In your opinion, what's the outlook? What's the taste of Miami in Orlando right now?
Right now, especially in my team, they're very highly. A lot of people think very highly of Miami right now, and that's a great thing. I know that the two. I know a lot of the commitments. I know Darion. I played with Darion the FBU thing in my 8th grade year. He's a very good quarterback. I know why they recruited him hard, and I know why he picked Miami. Is they win, and he's a good quarterback, great quarterback. I know the old linemen. I know Demetrius Campbell and Jaden Wilkerson, very 2 big guys. I know they very athletic. I know why Coach Mirabel's going for them. They're very good linemen, and they can move very well for their size. So I would say the main thing, and of course Larry Miles, very good wide receiver, very great wide receiver. He's going to be really good when he gets into the rest of his junior year and senior year. He's also making a very big impact when it comes to Jones High School, especially with Vernell. And I think the main thing is that Miami is making those splashes in Florida and Orlando, because they've been going to South Florida and Orlando. South Florida is really great. South Florida is great. That's where Miami comes from. But I think making those splashes in all Orlando area, all of Florida, makes a big impact because they know that there's dogs in Orlando too. Because you got the Lake Marys, you got the First Academies, of course, you got the Edgewaters, you got the Osceolas, you got those teams, those dominant Orlando power teams that are making splashes not just in the state of Florida, but also in the national places. So I think they're starting to realize a little more that Orlando got some dogs.
Facts. Before we get you out of here, man, shout yourself out, bro. Let people know where to follow you on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you want people to tune into your recruitment at.
Yo, Chance Barclay. Add me on Twitter, Chancellor B 2026. Add me on Instagram, Chance B _77. Everyone just stay blessed. Make sure you guys put God first. Everything's through God. Keep the main thing the main thing. So just God bless.
Hey, man, we appreciate your time, man. We appreciate you coming on. Like my guy said, we'll have you back on soon, maybe after your season, kind of see how everything went. Check in with your recruitment and everything else, man. Stay blessed, bro. Have a great night.
Of course. You have a blessed rest of your night, y'all.
Appreciate it, man. That was a 4-star offensive lineman out of the Orlando area. If you haven't checked his tape out, I think he said he was 6'4", 290. Amazing athlete. Incredible. I mean, the guy's going to be probably a high 4-star, maybe right around that blue chip cusp. So I like the kid. I mean, he's doing well for his team. So he doesn't play at the Jones or, like you said, the Edgewaters. He plays at his first academy. So definitely check him out, man. He's a great kid, obviously. But if you're tuning in, man, we got probably one of the biggest offensive linemen. We'll be on this show here in a few minutes. We're going to chop it up with him. If you like what we do, man, we are on a new platform, so please hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Help us out. We are trying to get back to where we were Shout out to our guy Miami Flow. He is doing his thing over there, but we're building our brand up and kind of doing our thing over here. So please like, subscribe, go follow my guy over there too as well. But we are about to have. I can't wait. I know my guy over here is excited. 5-star offensive lineman. So once he pops in, we'll bring him on and we'll get to know him here. So real quick, Dave, like we said, going into this 2026 class, obviously some big time guys. I want everybody to get real familiar with them because that class is already starting to blow up, right? You see them, I think the last 3 home games has been, had a ton of talent through the 2026, even the 2027, but we'll trickle them 27 guys in periodically over the next year, getting used to them as well. When you look at that class overall, what's your take on that? You know, because we've been through the 24s, we've been through the 23s, great class as a whole, right? This 26 class, I think, can be special, not only for Miami, but just in general, right? What is your outlook on this 2026 class?
Yeah, I think you can get real excited because if things play out the way that we hope they do, and the only way that they can play out is by the time that class really gets into it, Miami's looking really good right on the field. And I think by that time you should have the momentum built up. Where these other classes, where we've even brought in good classes, but not been, had some down seasons, rebuilding years, and things like that. By that time, you're there, you're rolling, momentum's going. Now you can really go out, and the reason I think that's important is I think 26 class is going to be huge to recruit nationwide. You're going to have a lot of dudes. We talk about Georgia. We've had a lot of dudes on here from that state. Texas. Go look at the 2026, just the running backs out of the state of Texas. I think you got 4 like the top 5 or 6 in the country coming out of the state of Texas. I think you've got like 6, 7 in the top 10 coming out of the state of Texas. So just that one spot right there. And then you look across the entire country and across the entire board, and it just gets even better. Sorry, my dog's about to get wrapped up in my cord. Hang on, come here. But I think you want up. Come on, how about? But I think as you do that, and then when you get into the offensive line, I think offensive line, I'm going to talk about that. The trenches for 2026 is huge, literally, but it goes across the nation, and you've got guys spread out all across from one end to the other. So I think by that time, having the momentum built up, I think it's really important to do what you got to do on the field to really springboard yourself into that class.
Yeah, I mean, I think you touched on it, right? Like we've seen what Mario has done with the 5-7 team, with a 7-5 team. You go from top 10 to top 5, and obviously this class is looking very well as well. We're gonna have some major flips coming soon, but I think the thing is once you get into start the 2026 class, you're starting to win, right? That's what a lot of these kids want to see. Is what a lot of these young men want. That consistency. Miami's done well in what, once in 25 years, somewhere around there, 20 years, whatever you want to add it up to, whoever, I don't care. It's just been a while, right? There's just been no consistency over those 20-year span. If you can put together maybe an ACC title run this year and get into the playoffs, then going into that 26, season or 25 season, 26 class, you'll start to see some of these, guys looking at Miami now saying, damn, okay, they were there last year, now they're back again, right? And I think that's what's going to be the tip and hat for a lot of these guys nationally and even locally, because it's always been a stigma around Miami, is can they produce? Can they develop? Miami hasn't had a consistent NFL draft class worth, much as far as a whole. Then you get these guys in and they're role players, or, they're I don't want to call them, practice squad guys, but at the end of the day, they're not what Miami has always been hyped up to be or to be, lived up to be. So, you get some of these guys and we go maybe say 12-0, get an ACC championship game, you're 13-0 this year, you go into the playoffs. If you can even sneak one out of the playoffs, these kids are going to be hyped. That first game when Florida comes down next year, it's going to be sold out. It's going to be packed. And I don't even care. We're going to obviously bring in some competition at quarterback. We don't know who's going to be the quarterback next year. I know Emory is developing well, but I do expect them to bring another quarterback in and compete, right? Like at least have the competition. And I think that's going to be the consistency, is if we get a guy and he comes in and wins the job, cool. But if Emory comes in and he does take that next step, I don't think it's too far-fetched to say with, ACC, Miami can't win it again with Emory. He he played Clemson last year as a true freshman and won. You just got to have the right team and the guys around him, right? So, but I think it's time to see some of these younger guys like Justin Scott, JoJo Trader, Nakar, see what they can develop into as well. I mean, we have some guys. There's without a doubt Mario's recruited, at a phenomenal level. Now we just need to see it consistently. Now we just need to see them actually do it at that consistent level, and get on the Georgia, the Texas, the Ohio State's levels consistently. I mean, those dudes do it in the portal and in recruiting. That's where, we have to have that good mix of, culture. And when you look at a team like Florida State, that's where they're failing at. They don't do bad in the portal. I mean, obviously this year was a bad miss for them, but, they were able to the first 2 years to put together a good portal class. But it fell apart because there's no development. That old line is like Tetris. This last year and even last year, Jordan's been running for his life since he got there. So they just had had a playmaker at quarterback. So obviously, when it comes to that, Miami's going to do what they do best, and Mario's going to recruit his ass off. That there's no doubt in my mind. And I love the guys that he's got around him: Jason Taylor, Coach D. Nick, even Kevin Beard. I like Chevis as well. I mean, I think he's phenomenal. I think he goes unheard of. Coach Waddell has shown that he can get out there and recruit. But you get a guy like D. Nick, man, and Jason Taylor in your living room. It's hard to tell those dudes no. Those dudes recruit at a high level, and then they're also that same elite coach on the football field. You can't take that away. That's what we've been missing for years. You have Packy and Banda. So, but our guy just got on. I know he was just getting out of practice. Now I want to bring him on real quick so we can get him out of here. He can go home and shower. What's up, man? You can hear me?
What's up?
Man, I appreciate you coming on. Appreciate the time, man. Real quick, for everybody that's watching live, let them know who you are, where you're from, and what position you play.
I'm Jackson Cantwell from Nixon, Missouri. I play offensive tackle 2026.
Hey, man, I want to say I know my guy over here. I didn't even tell him you were coming on until we got on, right? You're one of his – he'll get into all that. So I know he's chopping at a bit, so I'm gonna kind of keep it quick with us, and I'll let him have it. So real quick, man, obviously one of the top players in the country at your position and overall, your recruitment is going through the roof. What's it like, man, on a day-to-day? Phone blowing up, you still trying to go to practice, still trying to go to school, have a regular life, outside of – what's it like, man?
Man, it's been a journey for sure. I mean, I've enjoyed it a lot, the pressure that comes with it, and, being able to, just be able to experience all the things I've been able to experience. I mean, the phone definitely got – probably too many unread text messages right now. I don't know the numbers, but too many. And it's been, I've been excited though to be able to at least get to connect with all these people, just because you can learn so much from all these coaches from all these various places. It's been a great opportunity for me.
Yeah, I mean, I could only imagine what your phone looks like. Obviously you're still a junior. You still got another 2 years to kind of go through the process, man. And obviously it's taken off and been a wonderful experience, I'm sure. What's it like out there on your recruiting world? You just came off a visit, obviously, to games. I know you got some more lined up, man. What's it like when you walk through a lot of these campuses across the country, and these guys are all telling you, "Hey, man, I want you. You're the top guy, or our board." Da, da, da. What's that like, man, for you? All the hard work and dedication you put in. You hear those?
Man, it's been it's been really cool so far. I mean, just getting to experience all these places, all these college campuses, getting to see places around the country that are really just really renowned throughout here, and even really just worldwide, being able to get these opportunities. I mean, getting to meet all these coaches, I've enjoyed it a lot, honestly. It's been really cool learning experience for me, and just kind of getting to learn about what I can do as a football player and what I can do off the field. I mean, it's changed my life a lot, and I've enjoyed getting to learn all these new things.
I believe it, man. Real quick, currently, what's your measurable? What's your height and weight?
You say that again, sorry?
No, I said just currently, real quick, what's your height and weight?
I'm 6'8". I weigh about 320 pounds.
I got you, man. So obviously you play anywhere across the O line. I mean, I would love to see you play center. think that'd be freaking hilarious. Because you're athletic enough to play the position. I don't think I've ever seen a center at 6'8", so that'd be kind of funny, right? What is it? Is
Yeah.
there a certain position that you would like to play on the outside, or you want to play, guard?
Man, I'm definitely looking at playing offensive tackle. I think that's what pretty much everybody is recruiting me for right now is to play offensive tackle. The general philosophy is that you want to play your best 5 football players, regardless of what their numbers look like. But I mean, the plan is to have me play offensive tackle on really either side. I don't think it'll matter until I get there, but I'm playing left right now in high school. I have more experience with that, but I feel like I can play any of the 5 positions. Honestly, it's just I think where I'll be needed at is offensive tackle.
I gotcha. So, obviously Coach Mirabal and Coach Cristobal are both recruiting you. You have the offensive lineman, head coach, recruiting you. And then you got one of the best, probably top 5 for sure, offensive lineman coaches in the country. What does that mean to you, when those guys are both heavily recruiting you? They both want you to come play for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's been really cool so far to get to talk to Coach Mirabal. He's got a lot of great things to say. Usually send me some stuff after games, kind of talk about some of the stuff that I'm doing, maybe some coaching stuff, or some of the stuff they're doing, kind of showing me how they do it. It's been cool to get to learn from him a little bit, and I've been talking to him a lot more recently. I haven't got to talk to Coach Cristobal a whole lot yet, but I've heard good things, and he's had a pretty good track record, so I'm excited to keep learning more.
I got you. So obviously trying to get down to Miami, I know the coaches want that to happen. Do you have any visits lined up? Are you trying to come down for any games this season?
As of right now, I don't have anything, but I don't know what my schedule will look like later in the year, but I have a lot of open dates for later in the year that I haven't filled yet, so that could easily be one that I fill with a Miami visit. There's a lot of there's a lot of places I've already taken visits to, but I think I probably want to see maybe 2 more schools before I start doing my next round of cuts. So I think that could be one of them that I end up seeing.
I got you. I know in about 3 or 4 weeks you can come down and watch Florida State game. We keep hearing all the recruits say that's the thing that they wanna come down for. So you kind of get with coach to set that one up. That's gonna be a live atmosphere there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pass on my call. What does that mean? I could hear you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wait, sorry, I didn't hear that last part. You said that again.
Oh, no, I was just saying coming down for the Florida State game in a couple weeks, I'll probably be like a lit atmosphere.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's gonna be a pretty big game, honestly. I mean, I know, obviously, I know Florida State has, already lost a game or 2 so far already coming up. I don't know exactly what the record is, but I think it'll still be a good one. Just still be an in-state matchup with some traditionally high-powered teams. I mean, it'll be definitely one if I don't go to. I'll be watching it following the scores. It'll be a fun to track.
Yeah, no, I got you, man. I'm gonna pass to my co-host, man. I'll let him chop it up and then he'll pass it back.
So you mentioned your measurables. You said you're 6'8", around 320. Can you hear me? Can you still hear us?
Honest, the mic on here is every time it says something, it's completely it keeps honestly, I don't know exactly if you want me to do anything to reset it. But every time I say something,
hop back out.
If you want to hop out and then come right back in, you're kind of skipping a little bit on our end. So sometimes if you hop out and then just come right back.
Yeah, I'll come back in.
I know he's traveling home from practice.
Yeah, he's just at a bad spot, I guarantee
it. Yeah. He'll hop back on real quick. I definitely wanted to get him on, man. Obviously one of your fan favorites, but 6'8", 325 pounds, that's a monster, bro. That's a man child. I can see why Mirabal wants him badly.
I mean, there's no reason for someone with that size to move on the football field like he does. And I told you that earlier, and I wasn't kidding. I kind of thought I was watching the wrong film the first time I watched it. I thought it was like a tight end or something.
Let me get him back on real quick. All right, you can hear us?
Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. I've had some phone issues lately, and it's been really hard to get it to work sometimes, but I got it to work there.
No, you're good, man. It happens. So you mentioned your measurables, 6'8", around 320. And so watching your film and seeing the way you move your footwork, like I don't know, I don't know when I've seen anybody move like that with your size. And I'm just kind of curious where that comes from. Do you have a trainer you work with? Is that something you just kind of built on your own? Like where did that athleticism come from with
Well,
that size?
I did grow up in a basketball background. I played basketball like every year up until this year. That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of where I got a lot of that footwork stuff from early. I mean, obviously coming from a track background too, like being able to like move throughout the ring very well in the shot and disc has also helped me out. And just generally, I've always been decently athletic for my size. I mean, I played tight end growing up until I got into high school. That was kind of all I really wanted to do. I didn't realize I was going to be an offensive tackle until I got there, and then I've gained 70 pounds to fit the position. But there was a point where I was a tight end that was probably, I mean, I might be about as fast as I was back then, but I mean, I was pretty fast for my age at that point. So that was probably where I kind of got that from.
Got you. And that's interesting that you bring up tight end because we talked before the show, and I said when the first time I watched your film, I thought I'm watching the wrong thing. It's got to be a tight end, as athletic as you were. Can you still hear us on your end? I think he's freezing up again, bro.
Yeah, I think he froze up. It's that service, man. I'm telling you.
And he's driving. It's because he's driving. You know what I'm saying? He's in and out of those bad spots. It's like you when you're delivering a package.
Yeah, I'm sorry about all that. I've been having I've had a pretty busy day today, but I want to be able to take the call and get on the show.
No, you're good. You're good. Just one or two more, man, and we're going to let you drive. Okay.
Yeah, he went back out.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. If we got to get him back on, we can. I mean,
there you go.
You good?
Man, I've been trying to get this to work. It's been kind of tough, but I think it's good now.
All right. Let me touch on this real quick because I definitely want to talk about this. You talked about your track background, right? Discus and all that, but don't sell yourself short. You're not only are you involved in track, you were the Gatorade Track Player of the Year in your state. You've also got, I think your parents had a pretty successful track career as well, right?
Yeah, my both my parents did track professionally for a while. My dad, he threw for a long time. I want to say like from when he got out of college, like 2003, all the way until maybe like 2016. And my mom threw for a couple of years professionally. I think her best year was in 2000, I want to say, but they both were pros.
Gotcha. Did they compete in the Olympics?
Yeah, my mom went in 2000. My dad went in 2008 and 2012.
Gotcha. That's fantastic, and I love like how you don't even bring that up. That's a pretty big deal.
No,
I was waiting on you to bring. I was waiting on you to bring that up.
Yeah, no, they definitely helped me out a lot throughout this because I mean they've been there before, even if it's in a different sport. So it's been really, really cool.
Got you. I see. It looks like being in the gym, that sort of thing, is also a big part of your life. Yeah, talk to us a little bit about that. As far as I've seen, but I want the folks to know kind of with your athleticism as well as your strength. Talk about your bench a little bit. What you benching, rep wise, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, my PR on the bench is I've done 455 for 3. I've done 405 for 8. Those are my two like numbers. I don't know exactly what that goes to as a 1 rep max. Those are my 2 best sets that I've done. And then I mean, it's very important to me just because I mean it's especially for this position. Like you gotta be very, very strong and like and explosive to be able to move people. And those are the 2 things that I prioritize in the weight room. So it's been a fun journey to keep progressing that.
Yeah. Got you. Last one for me, man, and I'll pass it back, and then we'll kind of sign off with you. I know you released, again, you're very early in your recruitment. I know you released, I think, like a top 14. Do you know when you'll try to trim that down a little bit?
So that'll probably be in about March. I was thinking I wanted to originally kind of get rid of some of the texts and calls by just like kind of cutting that program list in half and learning about kind of the ones I'm more interested in. So I think that'll be going from 14 to about 6 or 7 in like the March, April range, kind of after some spring visits, I think. Being able to really kind of clear up a few things, and then heading into official visits, I'll probably only take like 3. I want to say maybe 3 or maybe 4 if I end up getting a situation, but that'll be something that'll be decided later on. But I definitely think it will be getting narrowed down after like the next 2 like live periods. I'll be starting to figure it out.
Gotcha. And you don't have to give anything away, but just out of curiosity, is distance a factor at all? Maybe not necessarily saying in state, but do you want to stay kind of close to home, or is that a non-factor altogether?
Well, I mean, I think that'll depend on kind of what I want down the road. I mean, I could see it going either way potentially, but I know as of right now, I mean, I'm looking at are pretty far away. I've enjoyed like learning about them, and like I've been getting to see some of those places. So I don't really think it's a factor right now. If anything, I like a lot of programs that are far away, and there aren't many Power 5 programs that close to me, regardless. I think there's only 3 within a 4-hour radius. But it's I mean, it depends on what I want in the future, I guess.
Gotcha. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. Best of luck. Look forward to having you back on as your recruitment progresses. I'm gonna pass it back to you, Ross.
And I'm really sorry about the connection thing. I just we went out for my dad's 44th birthday. I took this call on the way home.
Hey, that's fine, man. I appreciate your dedication and your time on here tonight. You didn't have to do that, and it happens, man. It's no big deal. So it's all good. No problem whatsoever.
Yeah.
Back to you, Ross.
Sure. Yeah. And obviously, let Pops know happy birthday from the Canes family for sure.
Absolutely.
I got you. Without question.
Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it, man. Obviously, you guys had a good family dinner and stuff like that. Just got a couple, and I'll get you out of here for the rest of the night. Obviously, Miami's been recruiting you, like I said, and they're a school that you're kind of watching to see how things go. Any expectations, with Miami's season? Is there anything that you want to see from Miami?
I mean, I've already seen them do it, but just win some football games and just have a pretty good team. I mean, they've been pretty good. Had some good O-line play. I mean, I'm excited to kind of see what they continue to do throughout the season. I mean, as far as ACC teams go, it looks like they're one of the better ones right now, and I'm excited to kind of keep tracking that as it goes towards playoffs to kind of see where they stand. So that should be a good one.
I got you. And last one, man, and I will get you out of here. Obviously, your season's in the middle. You're getting through your season. Is there any goals or expectations that you have for you and your teammates?
Okay, so my individual goal is I want to get 115 pancakes in the regular season. I'm at 64 right now, and I got 4 games left, so I got to average like 12-ish to get there. I think I can. I think I'm gonna at least get close. I set it pretty high because I got 91 in the whole season last year, and I'm already like kind of knocking on the door of that. And for the team, I mean, this is the best team that Nick's has had in probably 9 years, and the last team that we had that was as good made it all the way to state. So we want to go win a state championship in the biggest class in Missouri. That's kind of our big goal this year.
I got you, man. Before you get out of here, man, let them know where to follow you, where to tune in to your recruitment, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you want people to kind of follow you.
Yeah, no problem. I got you. On everything, I'm at J Cantwell, Cantwell. So it's spelled J Cantwell 2499. That's on everything, and yeah, I mean, it should be a pretty fun one to track over the next year. I mean, I'm enjoying it a lot, and it's been really nice.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you back on, man. We'll be in touch, obviously, almost every week, and then we'll have you back on, see how your season went, see where your recruitment's going, and yeah, man, enjoy your night, and hope Pops had a good one.
For sure. Yeah, sounds good. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for having me on.
For sure, man. Enjoy your night.
Thank you.
All right, man. Obviously, 5-star offensive lineman out of Missouri. Big time offensive line. Hope we get a couple visits there. Great kids, man. Larry Miles couldn't make it tonight, so we'll try to have him back on probably the next couple of weeks. Hey, as always, now we got Kyle ahead. Try to get to 6-0. Obviously 2017 we went 10-0, so that's like the last time we've been anything near that. I think before that, man, it was 10 years, about 12 years, somewhere around there. It's been a while. So, what's your expectations? You got anything that you're looking forward to? Obviously, Virginia Tech game was a nail biter, to the end. Great to see the team fight, face adversity. What's your expectation headed to Cal?
Yeah, man, just continued improvement each week. We see things each week that looks like, we need to work on things like that. And I just want to see those get worked on and get ironed out every week. A little better tackling this week, things like that. And, just go down there and get the win. It's going to be rough, man. I'm not going to lie. That game don't start till 10:30.
Hey, game day's there.
Boy, the shape I'm going to be in at kickoff.
Can you imagine the Cal fans? 6 a.m. game day? What's it, 7:30 or whatever? Man, that's going to be brutal. That's going to be brutal.
Yeah, and then, I don't know. And I think, too, like that day, there's not any real big time games on all day long. There's some games to watch. Don't get me wrong, it's college football, but you don't have your Bamas and your Georgias and things like that. That would have been a nice one to kind of get us through on Saturday. So it's going to be a long day on Saturday. So, like I always say, when you're on the road, man, go in, get the win, and come home.
Man. And if you're traveling to the game, y'all be safe. Obviously, that's probably the furthest flight you could take. Anybody that was affected by this hurricane, man, hope everybody is well. Hope nothing, everything can be recovered. Hopefully everybody, I know that was a major one, and obviously we got more coming this week. So if you live down here in South Florida, stay dry, try to get your work done, and stay in the house. If you are watching on Twitter, we are live streaming it from Twitter. Please go to YouTube, subscribe to Sebastian Lane Behind the Mask. Obviously, we'll be dropping these every Monday, 8 p.m. We are back fully. Go subscribe. Go hit the like button. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. As always, it's all about the you.
All about